Yeah, that's number 4. That's not going to work. So
You want me to try to call him real quick?
sure. Oh,
Never
there's
mind. There he is. Right as I pushed the call button, he showed up. There you go.
2.
I wasn't late. According to my clock, I was right on time. 4 o'clock on the nose.
Karen was nervous. She was nervous that she was going to have to keep the gavel longer.
That's right.
If I knew that's all it took, I would have missed the whole meeting.
And I would have walked down the street. Excuse me, everyone, while I go down the street. Chris, you want to call the roll? Call the meeting to order. Chris, you're muted.
Okay, sorry about that. Karen,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Paul,
Here.
Larry,
Yes.
Kate, yes, Raymond,
Yes.
Jake,
I'm texting him right now.
Okay. Number 3, election of officers. President is Josh, Vice President Jake, Secretary Kate. We can do the hearing officer, however one is missing. Oh, we can swear them in later. We'll see.
I moved the slate of officers.
Thank you. All right, all the yeah, we can do all those in favor. All those in favor?
Hi.
I guess so.
do I have a second on that one?
Raymond will second.
Thank you.
And dead. Oh, you know, I do not disturb. Oh, he's off. Oh, he must be doing something. If I do not disturb on Jer's business phone, but something's going on over there. So we'll just ignore that. Let's see. No answer from Jake. Well, let's go. Who's going to do who's the notary? Don't we have to have a
Raymond has been designated as the person to swear in the officers and fiscal officer and deputy. So I have the oath here and
only one
ready to go anytime you are.
Yeah, you just don't have Jake or Dawn. So we'll do those later. Go ahead and you can do the officers first.
Okay, this is for Josh and for Kate.
Yep. Right.
And the answer to my question, folks, is I do. Do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as, in the case of Josh, President, and in Kate, Secretary of the Geauga County Public Library in Geauga County, Ohio, to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereinafter to be enacted during your term of office?
I do.
I do.
Thank you.
You're sworn in.
I'm done now, Josh.
I thought you had to go at least tell the first meeting was over.
Yes, no. She's done.
I'm done.
All right. All right,
Jake
so I
says
guess
he's not going to be at the meeting. Just FYI, Jake just said he can't make it. So
Okay, so
okay.
swear him in later then.
Yeah, we can do that. All right. I move to appoint the fiscal officer. So I need to move for that.
I moved
So
the
moved.
fiscal officer.
Paul moved, I second.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Any comments or questions about it? If not, then that involves money, so we need a roll call.
Okay, Karen,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
Okay, and then we need a swearing in for Lisa.
Okay. And again, Lisa, the response is I do. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Ohio, and that you will faithfully and impartially discharge your duties as the fiscal officer of the Geauga County Public Library in Geauga County, Ohio, to the best of your ability and in accordance with the laws now in effect and hereinafter to be enacted during your term of office.
I do.
You're sworn.
Don, I don't know, Josh, if anybody told you, but Don will have to do hers later.
Yeah, I did read that.
Can we vote to appoint her, however, so she can get sworn in tomorrow morning?
Oh, you know what? That makes sense. Let's do that. I need a movement to.
I move
Actually,
to-
do we do that
Yeah.
for the? We do that for the assistant?
Yes,
Okay.
because she's bonded as well.
Yes.
I
Oh,
move-
it's 'cause the
I
bond.
move
Yeah,
to
that's-
appoint her.
I'll second.
Newman and
Kate,
Patron.
you're the second?
Yep.
Okay.
And then we need a roll call on that one.
Yep.
Karen?
Yep.
Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Okay. And, okay, so we did the swearing in, and now we need a move to appoint the director as well.
So moved.
And I'll second.
Okay, and we need a roll call on that one as well.
Karen?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
We don't have a swearing in for the director? Been a while since I
No.
guess I was in charge of this part.
Nope.
All right.
swear. I swear.
Swearing isn't quite the same thing as being sworn in, just so we're clear. Okay, so next one is approval of the bylaws for 2021. I don't think we have anything major to change. It's just a.
Well, To clarify, this is just the bylaws as they exist. I sent out a document about a week ago, but it'll have to wait till February because it wasn't the 10-day requirement. So this would be essentially the standard bylaws that we have.
Okay.
I move the bylaws.
And we need
I'll
a
second the bylaws.
Kate?
Second.
Okay.
All right, and this is probably important enough. Probably need a roll call for this one.
Karen?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Okay, and then we need approval for the organizational charts for 2021 that are contained in personnel policies 131 through 142.
I move the organizational chart.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Okay, and we'll do a roll call for that.
Okay. Karen?
Yep.
Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
Okay, and further down in this packet, there was a list of committee appointments. If anybody does not like where they're at, by all means, send me a note, give me a
Yes.
call, whatever. We can change these. These aren't, I looked through it and I'm assuming Ed, you came
Yeah,
up with,
I made
and
the
they seem
adjustment.
perfectly fine with me. I got zero problem with any of it. But if anybody wants to be on something or doesn't want to be on something, let me know. We can fiddle with that. But as it is, that's the committee assignments. And hopefully everybody will discharge their duties with wonder and aplomb.
You want me to swear?
Oh, I still did my thing.
I don't know if we need to approve the committee appointments in here. Is there anything we have to do for that one?
No, that can
Yeah.
adjust. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Okay, and then that brings us to fiscal officer's report.
Okay, I need approval of the petty cash amounts that were listed in your board packet.
So moved.
Oh, sorry, I'll be second.
Okay,
I'm sorry, was that Karen?
Yeah.
Okay.
and involves money, so roll call.
Karen?
Yes.
Paul?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Josh?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Raymond?
Yes.
All right, and I need approval of the cash drawer amounts that were also listed.
So moved.
Karen,
Or Karen can second.
yeah.
Okay. She hasn't gotten a second for a long time.
No,
We should make her either first or second on everything today.
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Karen,
yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate, Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
And I need approval to allow me to invest monies without prior board approval.
So
So
moved.
moved. Paul moved, got a second.
Okay,
Raymond and-
Okay, roll call.
Karen, Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
That's all I have. The stock holdings are listed there for your information.
Yeah. Whoa. What happened there?
Yeah,
Bummer.
not good.
Oh, well, we aren't cashing out tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. Pacific Gas and Electric is not a good choice.
They were gifted. It's not anything I invested. I'm not allowed to invest in stocks. They
Oh,
were,
that
they,
makes sense.
those were a gift
Yeah.
That's, oh, good.
from years and years and years and years ago.
Yeah, as I say, we've been talking about these as long as I've been on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before they used to cause forest fires.
Okay, all right, that brings us to the end of the organizational meeting. I just need a motion to adjourn the organizational meeting.
I move we adjourn the organizational meeting.
Second.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, and all in favor?
All right.
All right, that is adjourned. I can close that window. Okay. And now we're going to call to order the regular Board of Trustees meeting for January 2021. So we need a roll call.
Karen, Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Saw him run out of screen.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
he's back.
I died, mine died for a minute too.
oh,
He's back.
Raymond.
Say yes to roll call, Raymond.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay.
I'm
All right.
changing rooms because my wife is working from home today. She broke her arm yesterday.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Oh, dear.
Tell her not to smack you upside the head quite so hard. It won't break.
I did not push her. I'm on record. I did not push her.
You want to go on record? Oh, that's too bad.
Okay, we got the roll call, so we need an approval of the minutes from the December meeting.
Hey Karen, do you want to tip your camera down so we can see other than your bangs and your,
Oh, really? 'Cause
there you go. A little more.
it's showing me. Maybe if I get
We can
close-
only see your
Maybe it's
glasses
just my
and your
camera.
veins.
Now, that's the first time I've seen your glasses. Nice glasses.
Wow.
I move the approval of the December minutes.
Okay.
I second that.
Okay,
Had it?
Yes.
Okay, I had it on a stand, so maybe that didn't work.
oh, that's perfect. Now we can see your whole face.
That's amazing.
All in favor of approval of the minutes from December?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, we approve the minutes. All right, on to communications.
Just have some letters there, some communications from different folks, a nice thing from the Clarendon Township trustees, and a letter about folks being strenuously dissatisfied with the closing down of GWFL.
Yep.
Nothing in here in addition.
All right. Brings us up to the approval of agenda. Do we have any changes to make to the agenda this time around? All right, I'm going to assume silence means no, so we need a motion to approve the agenda.
I
So-
move that we approve it, and I'll second.
So Raymond and Kate, okay?
Brindley and Patron, yep.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
All right, we have an agenda. All right, moving right along, we are up to fiscal officer's report for the board meeting.
Lisa, you're muted.
Thought I left it on, but my husband was vacuuming, so I need I need approval of the December disbursements and gifts.
So moved.
Karen, second.
All right, we need a roll call.
Karen.
Yeah.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
Okay.
And I need approval of banking changes to take Karen off and put Josh on as signers on all the accounts.
So moved.
Did you get the email? Did it go through that had to buy scan? So it didn't. All right, I'm gonna after the meeting.
I
will
just
send
thought
that
about
again.
it right before this meeting.
Well, I sent it, but then I realized I never. You said you were gonna send me back something to sign, and I never got it. I'm wondering if it never went through. So I will after the meeting. I will go and scan it again and send that to you.
Okay.
I will second the motion on appointment.
Thank you.
Sorry, just making a quick note. Okay, so we need a roll call because it involves money.
Karen.
Yep.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
And I'm also recommending that the board appoint Karen Delano again as credit card compliance officer for this year. She's done it, past couple years.
So
And
moved.
she graciously said she would do it again.
Do I have a
moved.
second on that?
I'll second.
Thank you.
Newman and Patron. Okay.
All right, and we'll do a roll call on that one as well.
Sure. Karen.
Yep.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yep.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
Do you want me to go on, Josh?
Yep.
Okay. I have a list there of the things that were purchased with the CARES Act from the grant. We weren't able to get some of the picnic tables that had been ordered, so we just made up the difference. I just took them out and made up the difference with the administrative leave costs. And so we came out, we're all done for the year. Don't have to worry about that.
As long as we're following the laws on that, I am happy as a clown.
As far as I know, we're following the laws on that, so.
They did extend it actually, or at least extended the amount of time.
Right.
That was changed.
Okay.
The 2021 mileage rate, last month you approved to use the IRS. So that was approved by the IRS at 56 cents a mile, just so you have that information. It's less than it was in 2020. I have a little update on the PLF, and our carryover balance was quite a bit larger than, of course, originally estimated. So we are in good position for 2021.
Good. It's a nice thing to be in if I'm going to be the president. All right. Is that it? You all good?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much, Lisa. And that brings us to the director's report.
So there, in addition to what's already in there, if I'm reading my email correct, and Patrick Jolly is present here so he can weigh in, it seems as though they have installed the memorial sign. Is that what your message said to me, Patrick, at Thompson?
Yes, the big sign by the road is installed and lit up and working.
The electrical was weird and wonky, but they managed to get it to work.
It's working. Yep.
Okay. But they don't have the pergola yet?
Correct.
Okay. So some stuff is changing as we go. The biggest issue that we're having right now is that we're at the end. We're at the end on both of these projects, and people are starting to get squirrely. And so we'll have folks showing up, but nobody from Donnelly's there to kind of do the follow through with them. So Friday morning I was there, and I went down to the basement 3 different times with 3 different contractors because nobody was there to work with them, looking for ladders, cleaning stuff up. We did eventually get through to them, but even today there's issues. So we're doing some follow up, and hopefully we'll get somebody from Donley's out there. Immediately after the project was done, reasonably so, Ed Ellsworth took some time off, but as a consequence, nobody's there. So we're following through, and Patrick's picking up, and a lot of folks are picking up the loose ends here. But we need to, as I keep saying, finish strong. We want to finish strong, and there's a lot of issues that are punch lists that need to be resolved. We're still working on that at both locations. The only other really good news in here is, and it's at the end of my report because it came at the very end, was the more good news about costs is the 13.58% reduction in the cost for our CleveNet for the ILS. So that's some more savings. It is in the bottom of my report. I was going to take it out, but I left it in there. I forgot to edit it. I had been asked by the United Way United Way of Geauga County to be on their board of advisors, and I thought I should run it by you before I said okay. So I don't think you have to weigh in, but if there's any objections, you can let me know.
I've got none. In fact, I think it's a wonderful thing. But it's up to you. I mean, that's your, that's on your plate. So if you like it and you're comfortable with it, I think it's a great idea.
I served in Ashtabula County. I told them, they've been asking me since I started, and I said we weren't going to do anything while the building projects were going on, but since those are winding down, I said, okay, I would check with the board just to make sure. But if there's no objections, then I will let them know.
I have none. With the two libraries, now the one in Thompson, is that one open for business yet, or is that still waiting for its grand opening for the public?
It's open for business. It's just that we've never really had.
Well, I know we haven't had the big party at grand opening, but I didn't know if patrons were allowed to come into the building yet.
Well, right now all locations are curbside delivery only, and they can reserve time for computers, so people can go in for use of that. People did get to come in and see it for the period before we, when everybody, at this point, we had a NEO RLS directors panel. It was sort of a directors meeting where we were all the different regionals, the 4 regionals had a meeting, and there were 86 of us or something library directors on. And universally, I'm hearing that people are all doing curbside. This is just the standard delivery service that folks are kind of, and when I talked to Tom Quaid, he leaves it up to us. He doesn't dictate to us that we have to go any way or the other. But, Chris and I keep looking at it. We talk with the staff. We look at the models of what we have available, the number of bodies, as in staff bodies, to be able to cover the services. And so we're adjusting on the fly, but generally speaking, we are going to continue to do curbside. We check every Thursday after we look at what the governor says and what the numbers are to see how that's changing. But yeah, people did briefly get to see Thompson, and we look forward, very, very much look forward to the day when these buildings are open and people can be in there.
So Ed, what's our staffing levels then, since we're at curbside right now?
Go ahead, Chris. I see you.
We have significantly less part-time staff. We're down approximately 30 positions in our part-time staff from, retirements, good cause, and people not really wanting to work in the current environment. Essentially, a couple of people have left for full-time jobs at other library systems, but we are down significantly our part-time staff, and it does impact some of our branches much more than others. But we are shifting people around based on circulation and traffic at the buildings.
Okay.
Everyone that's working is working 100% of their hours. Their hours aren't reduced anymore.
Yeah,
Correct.
no more shared work.
So the people that are still here, everybody's back to 100%.
And our hours of operation have increased again as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
When do we figure on having, excuse me, all of the content, all the books and stuff back into the Bainbridge building? Because I know some of the stuff is still over, was it Gardner, I think, building?
February 5th is our last day to get out of Gardner. The majority of the books will be back in Bainbridge on February 1st. But we
Okay.
do have that week of the 1st to kind of clear up any stragglers, the shelving, and some various equipment.
Isn't our last day of operations at Gardner the 27th? Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
right. But
And then
all
we'll
of the
begin moving.
materials will be removed on the 28th and 29th. But we do have that week of the 1st to kind of get things over there.
Okay. Excellent. Okay, is that everything then, Ed? Are you
Yep.
good?
Any other
All right.
questions?
Then I think we're ready to move on to the assistant director's report.
Okay, I would just like to highlight that the winter reading program has started, and we are getting participation from kids, teens, and adults, even though it is completely virtual. We have had some really popular virtual programs, one of which was the teen photography contest, and the heads of adult services are working together to offer personalized readers advisory services to the patrons when they can't come in. So patrons can call and say things like, I would like 15 or 10 mysteries of this type, or I need, a stack of books for a 7-year-old who, likes superheroes. And we are working with the patrons to get them what they need as far as that's concerned. We're coordinating tax services with AARP. It will look very different this year, but we will still be able to provide the services in the community. And AARP has new guidelines, and they're following some strict safety protocols. And we're just finalizing some last minute details before we advertise those appointments to patrons. We expect that they will fill up very fast. So that's been a challenge, but AARP is doing a great job getting that service together and working with us on what we need to do. And then I just wanted to give you a brief update on books by mail. As of this afternoon, we have 15 patrons using books by mail. 5 of the patrons live in a congregate setting where we are not able to visit them like we used to. So for the winter, this is the only way for them to get books from us. And we're getting some really good patron stories based on the Books by Mail program. There is a patron who is over 80 at Chardon, and the staff noticed that their holds were expiring. They weren't able to pick up their holds, so they called her, and she let them know that the person who was picking up her holds and was driving her around was not able to help her at this time. And so they were able to move her to Books by Mail until the person, her neighbor who helps her, is able to return to helping her. We've had another Chardon patron called just to let the staff know that her husband wasn't able to drive and that they would not be able to pick up their holds, and the staff worked with them to get them on this program until the husband is able to drive again. And then we do have 2 nuns at Notre Dame Cathedral Latin School. Both of them have no transportation to the library at this time, and they are very happy to get their books through the mail. And some of these patrons do qualify for the United States Postal Service's free matter for the blind and handicapped. So our patrons who are getting large print books, we do not pay postage for those. So the patrons who are using this service, which are very, very small group of patrons consider, when you consider all of our patrons, are very thankful, especially this winter. And that is all I have for my report.
Thank you, Chris. I was going to comment about this program later on, but this is a good segue to do it now. There have been some concerns by patrons, by people in our community that we're wasting money with this program. And some of the points you hit are exactly what I want to emphasize. This program, in my mind, and I may be speaking out of turn for the rest of the board, but in my mind, this program was designed for and intended for people that are homebound. To give you an example, my mother-in-law, she doesn't live here in the county, but she where she lives, she can't drive anymore. I don't even hardly trust her in the passenger seat of the car anymore, much less in the driver's seat. And because of COVID and everything that's happened, her normal access to get to places has been severely curtailed. She would not be able to get to her local library where she's at. It just would not be an option. So for someone like that to be able to try and maintain what little bit of normalcy they can in their lives during this crazy time that we've had, I feel like as a library, the minuscule amount of money we're spending on this program is more than worth it if it's allowing a few people to live their life in a more normal way. And we may very well have more comments from the public later on. We have a public comment section, and we can discuss this further. But that's my personal. I'm not trying to say this is the board's complete stance on this. This is my stance, and I think this is a very good and positive thing. And I appreciate, Chris, you emphasizing a lot of those points before I proceeded to.
I can just add that with our patrons that are using this, they are homebound. They are not able to get to the library, and generally speaking, all of our patrons prefer to come to the library if they are able. So these are people who are truly not able to get to the library right now. And for many of them, it's a temporary situation which will remedy itself after people recover from surgeries, or after helpers recover from surgeries and are able to drive them, or neighbors are able to help out. So many of these situations do remedy themselves in their short term, but I think it will do a lot to help this very small group of people over the winter. I mean, at any time. I mean, when you're homebound, you're homebound, but being homebound in the winter might be particularly harsh.
Right, and not everybody has access to someone who can go get it for them.
Right.
Not everyone.
And I
has
also
someone.
don't think we are in the position, or should be in the position, of saying you can get to the library, so you can't have this book by mail thing.
Exactly.
That's not our job to police that. And to be honest with you, I think we'd do a poor job if we tried.
Yeah.
So having this program and saying it's available is the best way I could think of to get the services out to the people that do need it, while not overburdening us with, oh, let me verify that you really are homebound and that you have no other opportunity to get here. That's a waste of our time and our effort, and we're probably going to get it wrong as often as we got it right anyway. So, all right.
John,
Thank you very
can I
much.
say something on this too?
Absolutely, Raymond.
Yeah, one of our core missions is putting our materials in the hands of our patrons. That's one of our core missions. I'm flabbergasted that anybody would think that we're wasting the taxpayers' money by helping get books and other materials into the hands of people that are homebound for whatever reason, whether it's because of their personal health, whether it's because it's a fear of going out into public in the current pandemic conditions. But I find it appalling that people would find that to be a waste of the public's money. We all take our obligation to spend the public's money responsibly, and I would think it would be irresponsible of us if we didn't find a way to accommodate those people who can't get to our facilities.
I agree.
Well said. All right. I think we beat that horse to death. So thank you, everybody, for your opinions and for listening to me go on and on. So now let's go ahead and go on to the next part of the agenda, which is the Human Resources Report.
Hello, everyone. I have HR resource or human resource actions approval needed for those. That's listed in your board packet.
I move approval of those human resource reactions, whatever.
Reactions.
Yeah, okay.
Actions, reactions, yeah, it's all good.
I agree. Second.
Dylan, second.
Okay.
All right. I forget, do we need roll call for those? Okay, roll call.
Karen,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
I also need approval for a retirement gift, $100 gift.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, never mind. Raymond can have it.
Okay, and roll call.
Karen.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
And that's it for the HR report.
Was the
Okay.
education included in that?
That's a new
That's further
business.
down. That's in 12.
Oh, sorry.
We'll get there. You're not president anymore. You don't have to worry about this.
I have a question. Oh, I see. Okay. All right. It just popped up in my thing and I thought, well, that should be there. No.
Okay. Do we have any committee reports this time around?
We don't, but we should at some point have the ad hoc facilities committee sort of have a get together, review what's going on. There was something else that we were talking about that we thought made sense for ad hoc facilities, and I cannot remember. Oh, Chris and I were going to talk about stuff, right? So we'll schedule something in the next between now and the next board meeting.
Okay. That sounds good. Any unfinished business?
Nope.
All right, moving along. And now we're up to 12, where we get to talk about new business and the continuing education issues.
So normally continuing education requests were always kind of submitted to me for approval, but that's generally been because I oversee the organization, but Lisa is overseen by the trustees. Also, this was something that fell outside of our standard, whatever the form had and at the time there wasn't anything there. So I was just simply asking the board. It opens up the question of, should we change the form? Should we open up anything that anybody gets continuing education for? That's the reason why this was brought to your attention here.
Okay, so it sounds like we got two things. One is you would like us as a board to approve Lisa's reimbursement.
I would also probably ask you to do the same for me if I were requesting anything.
Okay, yeah. All right.
I
as
just
a
assume
policy,
personnel committee.
I'm fine with the board. I mean, what does anybody else think? I'm fine with the board approving those two folks because they do come to us.
I think as long as the degree in question relates directly to their employment by the library, I'm in favor of it. And obviously, an MBA for Lisa is right up the alley of what we would expect our employees to do as far as getting additional education in MBA or something similar for Ed. Same thing. So I'm all in favor.
Yeah, I agree. So, first of all, I think we need a motion to approve Lisa's continuing education request.
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
Kate second.
Patron.
All right. And that involves money, so roll call.
Karen.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Kate.
Yes.
Josh.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
And then as far as the form only lists undergraduate degree or MLIS.
Correct.
Obviously, Lisa's going for an MBA. Do we need to just update that form? Do we want to just make it more generic and just say ongoing education and not necessarily specify? What's the right way to go there?
We need to know if it's undergraduate or graduate because it's reimbursed at different
Correct.
percents. But we could just change it to undergraduate, graduate degree, and then they could fill in what type of degree it is.
I would think that would be
I'm
much
fine with
better.
that because as soon as you get more specific than you absolutely have to, you end up running into exceptions to the rule like we just did because we never thought about an MBA.
So the other question that I would say specifically is, again, this is a very limited, this is 2 individuals out of 160 employees, is if it's the director or the fiscal officer, my recommendation was just that it go to the personnel committee. They would be the ones to just review it, and then it could come to the board for a standard vote. That's all. Mm-hmm. That was kind of what my suggestion was in the email.
Yeah, that sounds great. We probably need to get it put into the actual policy. So whoever needs to update that policy and we can vote on that next time. Does that work for everybody?
We can fix that.
Yep.
All right. That I think works. And then the next new business was the ADT proposal for
This is a
Bainbridge.
multi-year contract, and the board has to approve anything that's more than a single-year contract. So this is for is this just security, Patrick, or is this fire and the whole 9 yards?
This specifically is just security.
Okay.
Move the approval of the ADT contract.
So moved.
Okay.
Bailey and Newman, got it.
All right. And I say roll call on that.
Okay. Karen,
Yes.
Paul,
Yes.
Kate,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Raymond.
Yes.
Okay. That should be all the new business. Did I miss anything there?
Mhm.
All right. And then that brings us to board development, which I don't think we really have any here, or do we?
There's nothing there, but there were a couple of workshops. I know I think Kate wasn't well, so she missed one of the workshops that the both of us signed up for. But there actually are a couple of things, and I'm going to I'll send it to the trustees to view. There's a couple of different workshops for advocacy and stuff that you may be interested in. So I'll send you I got the links, and you can watch them at your leisure.
Okay, great. Okay, foundation.
Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I just wanted to report that this month, our creation committee that is in charge of restructuring our foundation organization, they were on hiatus over the holidays, and they resumed their meetings last week. And the best thing I can describe it as right now we are in that space of transition where we are focusing on our purpose and our people and our processes and what will change and what will endure is we're taking a hard look at that. And a lot of what they've been discussing is it will look a lot different than what any of the friends groups have done in the past. So we're really taking our time to get it right before we announce our new organization, which I will keep you posted in our monthly board meetings on that progress. Also, we did get correspondence from the former Bainbridge Friends of the Library, the Thompson Friends of the Library, and the Newberry Friends of the Library, as well as the East Geauga Friends of the Library. All of those organizations have dissolved, and they have made generous donations to the Geauga County Public Library, as you've been seeing in your gift reports. So that is where we're at with the former Friends groups. Also yesterday, we hosted a MLK Day program for the 2021 Civil Rights Series that we've been doing for the last 4 years. We had a virtual screening of a documentary called True Justice. It was a story of Brian Stevenson, he's the founder of the Equal Justice Initiative and the author of the book Just Mercy. And the documentary talked about his life. And also we followed it up with a discussion that was facilitated by a diversity specialist from Kent State University. So that was a great program to be able to offer our patrons on Martin Luther King Day. We also discussed in our foundation meeting last week the Ohio Governor's Imagination Library. The governor's office is hosting regional affiliate meetings quarterly now, so we can all get together with the people that are running the programs in Lake County, Cuyahoga County, Ashtabula County, and share ideas and get to see what's working. One of the goals for 2021 for not only our region but statewide is to be working with the hospitals and the labor and delivery wards to make sure that kids that are being born at all the hospitals are getting signed up before they even leave. Now, Geauga has kind of led the way because we've always had a great relationship with Geauga, and they've been helping us out since day one. So we've been able to give some good advice to our region on how to get that started at all the hospitals in our region. They've also appealing to our local affiliates to contact our local legislatures because the budget for the state is going to be up for vote this year, and they've included the request to continue matching funds for the Imagination Library. So that's something our board discussed on the best way that we could appeal to our local legislatures to make sure that this project is funded for us for the next 2 years moving forward. The rest of the things that we talked about at our meeting were our goals for 2021. We talked a lot about what our fundraising is going to look like, alternates to fundraising, rather than event-driven things that we've done traditionally. We're going to be looking into some grant research, cultivating our existing donors. We've talked about thrift books, which is the third-party online book sales, which will hopefully bring in some revenue, since we're not really sure how the current economy and the climate of the world is going to be when it comes to fundraising. So we've been having a lot of creative discussions on what we can do about that. The rest that we talked about for 2021 is board development, leadership training, and also training on our donor software, Little Green Light. There's a lot of functionality on that software for to track volunteer hours and membership dues and things that are going to grow with the foundation. So those are some of the things that we have on our docket for 2021. And that's all.
Okay, I'm going to pass along a question that was asked of me, and I honestly didn't know the answer to it. Somebody asked about if they do a donation to the foundation, are they allowed to specify, like, I want this money to go towards this like a early child reading program, or I want it to go towards the Middlefield Library branch or something like that? Or are we telling folks it's too hard to try and earmark donations, so if you donate to the foundation is going to use it where the foundation thinks it should be used?
Traditionally, if somebody has made a donation, say they just want to specifically make a donation to use for the Imagination Library, I'll delegate funds for that. I've had people come forward saying, I want my donation to specifically go to foundation projects such as Baby's First Book. So I earmark that. When it comes to a certain branch or geographical region, if they want to make a donation to the library, I mean, Lisa, you could jump in here, but I typically don't designate to geographical things. People come to me with donations more for specific projects.
And we have a gift policy for the board accepting certain gifts. So that would be something that would be put to the board. Like when we got the, I can't remember that guy's name, but the money for Geauga West, that came to the board, and we had to go through the process each time we got an additional gift.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Because that becomes problematic if someone says, you know, here's $10,000, but you can only buy yellow books or something like that. You know, it's something that you would just want to be aware of before it went down that path. And I say that just because there was somebody had donated, somebody donated, I think, $15,000 to a library system I worked at, and said you could only use the money that you earned on interest to buy books. And the rates were so low that we really could only buy like 3 picture books every year. And that was it, whatever the issue was. So and then you can never do anything with that money. And that person died 50 years ago, so there's no way to make any changes to it. So it's just something for you to really review and be mindful of. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it's one of those, somebody asked me that question. I'm like, well, I know what my answer would be, but I'm not sure if it's the right answer. So this is a good opportunity. Thank you.
Patrick Jolly reminded me it was the Pavlov Fund. Pavlov Fund? Yeah. I caused dogs to bark from that.
Well, my wife dared to come home, and my dogs have to announce that to the world. So, all right. So does that finish up the foundation stuff then? You all good? All right. Thank you very much. All right. And that brings us to comments from the public. Any of the many people we've got joining us today have anything that they would like to talk about?
Jim McNeil has his hand up, and I think you could just go ahead and unmute yourself.
Testing. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Super. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. What is the process by which books are listed on your website staff picks And is that a documented procedure with records of actions and approvals?
Okay, well, this isn't the question and answer period. I think this is the, if you have questions, you can submit the questions, but if you have comments, this is, I mean, I don't know, this is Josh's meeting, but it's a reminder that this is like a 5-minute moment for you to offer comments.
Well, if we can give him a quick 1-minute answer, I'm fine with doing that. I honestly don't know. The board itself is not involved with those directly. That's done at the staff level. So if there's a quick and easy answer, I'm all for giving it. If not, if it's going to be a little bit more involved, then I'm all for Ed or someone else getting back to you with that information.
Well, I mean, the basics of it is it's a staff pick. It's selected by the staff, and I don't know what process is used by marketing to determine what goes in this is in the lines and links light. Here's what I'll say. There's no political agenda. I'll say that. They're just the staff's picks. And the best way to help that along is if you want to be part of staff and then pick a book, we'll put it in there for you. We can do that.
Right, that's a little on the trite side. Let me cut to the chase since it's comment time and you asked for a comment. Here it is. I'm on your website. I see staff picks. I see staff picks for high schoolers. And I see a particular book there called A Gentleman's Guide to Vices and Virtues. And I see a comment from Teen Vogue magazine, and this is a homosexual resource that should not be overlooked. Now, I have no ability, and I'm not pushing toward censorship here. That's one issue. But there's a tremendous difference between having a book in the library and recommending it and pushing it, because that, sir, is an agenda. And I want to know who recommends them, how they recommend them, what records are kept. That's my inquiry.
Okay.
Sir, you're welcome to make a public record request. That request needs to be made in writing. Send it to Mr. Warso. If records are kept and they're not exempt from disclosure, they'll be disclosed.
Well, that sounds like a great suggestion, sir.
All right. Anything else we can do for you, Mr. McNeil?
I think that's it for today.
All right. Thank you very much. Is there anybody else? Looks like Skip raised his hand.
Yes. So let me make a comment procedurally. First of all, and Rondinelli's an attorney, he'll know this to be true. The Ohio Sunshine Law does not require you to make a request for public information in writing. In fact, it's very explicit. You can make a request informally, you can make it verbally, you can make it any way you want to. A request is a request. So you can ask that one be done in writing to clarify the request, but it can't be a requirement. If so, you're in violation of the Ohio Open Meeting Law. The other thing is, and from a procedural standpoint, if you open up a session for question/comment, you can't determine what proper comment is. It's a free speech right. Once you allow comment, whatever that comment is, you have to allow it. And so in that regard, I want to get
Hello?
Am I the only one that
You
can't
cut
hear?
out Skip if you're still
Can't hear.
talking.
I said, yes, you're using taxpayer dollars to pay for education. Is that correct?
We only heard the last little bit of that. Could you repeat yourself, Skip? I'm sorry. You cut out completely.
Yeah, I'm going to move to a better location.
Okay.
So can you hear me better now?
You can currently. You were real good there for a while, and then you cut out. So hopefully you'll stay.
Okay, well, if I'm better now, so I just want to get clarification. We're using taxpayer dollars to pay for somebody's education. Is that correct?
Oh, you're referring to the online education reimbursement stuff from earlier?
Yes. So you're paying for.
Yes, we reimburse partially, it's
some
not completely, yes, we do
MBA.
reimburse our employees for part of their educational work.
Okay, from a taxpayer's perspective, I object to that. And so just put that on the record. It's irresponsible for the library board to pay for people's education out of our taxpayer dollars. There's all kinds of government giveaway programs to pay for people's education, and it shouldn't be happening through our library board.
That's your.
Okay. All right, anything else we can do for you, Skip?
Nope, that's it. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any other hands up, but is there anybody else that was hoping to ask a question or make a comment?
Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, so that brings us then to Raymond's favorite part of the meeting, the call to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, I think we're all set, and I will talk to you all next month.
4:56 p.m. All right, thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.